Terry laughed again. Right, he said. Would you care to try? Said Dr. Weisenstock, smiling that thin smile of hers and offering the bottle of pills. Hey, I'm out of here, Terry said, gathering his books, and I was ready to go with him. She had me convinced. Just one moment, said Dr. Weisenstock. I'd appreciate it if you would hear me out. Fine, Terry said. Talk all you want, but I ain't taking any pills. The effect is painless. It's very much like falling asleep, she said. Except you don't wake up, Terry said. That's correct, she said. The rest of us will stage some accident to account for the death, she said. Only we will know what actually happened. That's crazy, said another guy. You're not really serious, are you, Doctor? You can't be. Oh, but I am, said Dr. Weisenstock. I'm perfectly serious. I wouldn't joke about it, something like this. I'm not making any theoretical presentation here. Who would ever want to do that, said the same guy. No one, said Dr. Weisenstock, ever. She looked at us and smiled, and I felt very uncomfortable, as if I was losing control of something. That is precisely the point, she said. I had a feeling I should go, but I didn't move. The human race, she said, each individual human being, must have a resolve, a strength of purpose, a willingness to face adversity, hardship, oppression, even death, if we are ever to accomplish anything beyond the cycle of mere birth and death. Without that, we languish as a species, and we never develop as individuals, or as a group. Think about it. When we build a bridge, men die. 24 men died building the Bay Bridge between San Francisco and Oakland. 24. Each time a man died, a whistle blew and everyone went home. But the next day they all came back. They all came back even though they knew that one or more of them was highly likely to die. Yeah, but they were getting paid, someone said. A few people laughed. How much is your life worth, Dr. Weisenstock said. That's the question. You're right. That's exactly what this is about. What value do you place upon your existence? Now, in the case of those workers on the bridge, do you think that if they held a meeting before they built that bridge, and they said, all right, 24 of us must die before we're done, that 24 people would have volunteered to die for any amount of money? Of course not. But I absolutely guarantee you that everyone involved knew for a virtual certainty that some men would die before that bridge was completed. And 24 men did. The men kept dying, and the rest kept coming back. They didn't stop until the bridge was built. And so, in a way, every man who worked on that bridge agreed, in a tacit way, to die, if necessary. And, if they wanted to build the bridge, it was necessary, 24 times. Or take the space program. The 3 Apollo astronauts who died in their space capsule when it burned. The 7 who perished on the Challenger shuttle. Do you think any of them wanted to die? She stared at each one of us. But it was a statistical inevitability that sooner or later life had to be sacrificed. The danger was real and always present. It was not just a TV show or a video game. Exploration. Going where no one has gone before. If we want to test the limits, if we want to go to the moon, or build a bridge, or climb a mountain, if we respond to a challenge that is greater than ordering a pizza, or buying a beer underage, or having unprotected sex, anytime we wish to extend our capability, we expose ourselves to the unknown, to risk, and those risks must be accepted, including the risk of losing a life. Who loses is a matter of blind fate, chance, but there is no doubt that someone must lose. And the survivors live with that. They were at equal risk. They could have lost. Soldiers know this. Now, any of you who wish to leave may do so, but you do so knowing that if you go, you increase the odds for those who stay. But if they stay, that's their choice, said Carrie. Stay or go, it is a matter of choice, said Dr. Weisenstock, nodding her head. If you all go, no one dies, nothing happens. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Elsewhere, that is so many words. Here, now, you can learn the meaning of those words. In this room right now, this very moment, you stand a chance of getting a real, lasting, permanent education. Here we are not going through the motions. This is not the ivory tower. This is a foxhole. Nothing is pretend. This is absolutely real. If you stay, you are risking your life along with these other people. You are a group, and now you are a group faced with a serious situation, one you will never be able to forget. I absolutely guarantee that if you accept this challenge and remain in this room and draw, it will be the most memorable day of your life. How are you going to handle this? Are you going to walk out or face it? I want to go, said a girl. Of course you do, said Dr. Weisenstock. Who wouldn't? This is absurd, said Terry. There's no reason to stay. Other than staying? No, said Dr. Weisenstock. It's crazy. Nuts, said Terry. Why do we do anything? Said Dr. Weisenstock. Because we want to, said the girl. That is a childish reason, said Dr. Weisenstock. It's fine for children. When do you stop being children and face your life? I'm going, Terry said, but he remained in his chair. Who will stay? Anyone? Said Dr. Weisenstock. I'll stay, said a guy. I didn't know him. He had a ponytail and a nose ring. He looked like the kind of guy who'd stay. I'll stay, said a girl. Are you crazy? I said. Maybe, the girl said. This is like suicide, I said. I don't want to die. The guy with the nose ring laughed. Neither do I, man. None of us wants to die, he said. I'm not going to die. I'm not doing it to die. Then why are you doing it, I said. He shrugged. Because I am, he said. That's not good enough for me, I said. My life means more to me than that. What are you doing with your life, said Dr. Weisenstock. Living it, I said. Avoiding risks, she said. Incubating. How long could that go on? Is that really living? I'll pick my risks, I said. This is pointless. Your little experiment like we're lab rats or something. I appreciate the comment, she said, but this only works with people. The high value involved, a human life. You have to make the decision with your own free will. Otherwise, you're right, it would be meaningless. What you're doing is like Russian roulette, said Terry. Until you put your life on the line knowingly, voluntarily, completely, utterly, you cannot understand what life is about, said Dr. Weisenstock. We are not doing this for no reason. We are doing this for the ultimate reason, so that you will understand what your life means, and also to see how you will behave. And to do that, someone has to die, said another girl. Unless we are just pretending, said Dr. Weisenstock. You shouldn't be doing this, Terry said. Dr. Weisenstock nodded her head. Obviously, I've given it a lot of thought. There are so many reasons not to do this. It would be so easy to stop, but I have chosen not to do so. You've done this before, Terry said. I have, yes. You're like the angel of death, I said. She looked at me. I have chosen, she said. Now you must choose. I was terribly frightened. Every part of me wanted to leave that room. I did not like giving way to that fear. Okay, I said. I heard myself saying, almost against my own will, I'll stay. It took a while, but everyone stayed, even Terry. And each one of us had to declare that we were staying by our own choice, not because of peer pressure or any other reason. I really couldn't say what my reason was. I should have left. You, reading this, you will think I would have left, but I couldn't. I didn't. Dr. Weisenstock walked around the room holding the blue cloth bag, while we each took out a piece of paper. A guy named Jerry got the X. Dr. Weisenstock put the bottle of pills on his desk, poured him a cup of water. We had to sit there while he took them, which he did. But first he said some stuff about being afraid and wanting to run, and he cried a little, and some of the people in the room were crying with him. How did I feel? So many different things. I didn't want him to do it, couldn't believe he would, knew he had to, and even was angry over the delay. If it had been me, I'd have had to do it, and it could have been me. A lot of relief there. Dodged the bullet. He took the pills. And I was no bystander. I participated in Jerry's murder? Suicide? Death. I was part of his death, and he became a part of my living. Nothing since has been the same in my way of looking at things. Dr. Weisenstock said, I promise you this, we will never forget you. The stuff she gave him must have been strong because it didn't take long. He put his head down and went to sleep. Then he stopped breathing. That's all there was. I was in shock. All along, I thought she'd do something, like Maybe the whole thing was a setup between her and Jerry to get us to believe it was real. But instead, it was real, and Jerry was dead. Later, we put him in his car and fixed it so that it ran off the highway, 27, the one they called Dead Man's Boulevard. There was an article about it in the paper. What a tragedy. Another young person falling asleep, dying so needlessly. We met for the rest of the term. My life had changed completely. I felt reborn, a new person, a different person. Sometimes I felt incredibly happy, other times incredibly depressed. I thought I might be cracking up. What kept me together was the other people in the room. They knew what I was going through. We took up a collection for Jerry and created a scholarship in his memory. We talked among ourselves about what could never be discussed outside that room. We talked about fear and relief and guilt, and dedicating ourselves to be strong in honor of his memory. And one night, Terry said he thought we should draw again.